James D. Tabor is a professor in the Department of Religious Studies at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, where he has taught since 1989 and served as chair from 2004 to 2014. He previously held positions at Ambassador College, the University of Notre Dame, and the College of William and Mary. Background: Tabor was born in Texas but lived all over the world as the son of an Air Force officer. He was raised in the Churches of Christ and attended Abilene Christian University, where he earned his BA degree in Greek and Bible. While earning his MA from Pepperdine University, he taught Greek and Hebrew part-time at Ambassador College, founded by Herbert W. Armstrong, founder and president of the Worldwide Church of God. Tabor earned his Ph.D. at the University of Chicago in 1981 in New Testament and early Christian literature, with an emphasis on Christian origins and ancient Judaism, including the Dead Sea Scrolls, John the Baptist, Jesus, James the Just, and Paul of Tarsus. The author of 6 books and over 50 articles, Tabor is frequently consulted by the media on these topics and has appeared on numerous television and radio programs. During the Branch Davidian siege in Waco in 1993, Tabor and fellow religion scholar J. Philip Arnold realized that in order to deal with David Koresh, and to have any chance for a peaceful resolution of the Waco situation, one would have to understand and make use of these biblical texts. Quote, "After contacting the FBI, they sent Koresh an alternative interpretation of the Book of Revelation which persuaded Koresh to leave the compound, though it was stormed by federal forces first." Major publications and research. His first book was a study of the mysticism of the Apostle Paul titled Things Unutterable, based on his University of Chicago dissertation. The Journal of Religion named it one of the 10 best scholarly studies on Paul of the 1980s. In 1992, Tabor turned to an analysis of attitudes toward religious suicide and martyrdom in the ancient world, the results of which appeared as A Noble Death, published by Harper San Francisco in 1992. Tabor's book has been used as a standard by ethicists, lawyers, and physicians who are participating in the current debate. Tabor has also published a wide variety of scholarly and more popular articles in books, journals, and magazines. In 1995, he published Why Waco? Cults and the Battle for Religious Freedom in America, which he co-authored with Eugene Gallagher, and which was one of the first books to explore what had actually happened during the Waco siege. In 1995, he testified before Congress as an expert witness on the siege. The Jesus Dynasty. In 2006, Tabor published The Jesus Dynasty, which interprets Jesus as an apocalyptic messiah whose extended family founded a royal dynasty in the days before the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD. The form of Christianity that grew out of this movement, led by the Apostle Paul, was, according to Tabor, a decisive break with the Ebionite-like original teachings of John the Baptist and Jesus. In a back-jacket endorsement, Arthur J. Droge, professor of New Testament and early Christian literature and director at the University of California at San Diego, writes, James Tabor presents what may be the boldest reconstruction yet of the life and times of Jesus of Nazareth, working with the surviving evidence like a CSI detective, especially the testimonies concerning Jesus's family and the Jerusalem Nazarenes. Tabor succeeds in reinscribing what has been lost from the historical record. At once scholarly and accessible, Tabor's book may very well inaugurate a new phase in the quest for the historical Jesus. Richard Whiteman Fox, professor of history at the University of Southern California, writing in Slate, said, ultimately Tabor leaves the reader confused about whether he thinks the Jesus dynasty is a historical fact or merely an intriguing conjecture, and that Tabor seems stuck in an endless loop. squinting across the sands of time as much as the terrain of Galilee and Judea, holding out for some imagined, real contact with the historical Jesus. An extensive popular review by J. Tolson appeared in the April 9, 2006 issue of U.S. News and AMP World Report. Darrell Bock, professor of New Testament Studies at Dallas Theological Seminary, writing for Christianity Today, has said, 4 major historical problems exist with Tabor's portrait beyond the mere worldview issues that drive his portrait. Bert Jan Liet et Pierre Bold from the Theological University of Kampen, writing in the Society of Biblical Literature Review of Biblical Literature, was highly critical of the book, saying, "Some books are written to spread knowledge, others to generate controversy. This book falls into the latter category." In his Jesus Dynasty, James Tabor presents a reconstruction of the Jesus movement from a perspective that purports to be a neutral view of the facts. Unfortunately, Tabor's view is not neutral and his facts are not facts. Jeffrey Butts, in The Secret Legacy of Jesus, says that the Jesus Dynasty is a long overdue and most welcome addition to our knowledge of the historical Jesus, which has, not surprisingly, been widely denigrated by conservative scholars. Other activities. Tabor serves as chief editor of the Original Bible Project, an effort to produce a historical linguistic translation of the Bible with notes. Tabor is most recently involved in research on a tomb found in 1980 in Jerusalem in the area of East Talpiot. It contained ossuaries with the names Jesus son of Joseph, 2 Marys, a Joseph, a Matthew, and a Jude son of Jesus. In the book, The Jesus Dynasty, Tabor had discussed the possibilities that this tomb might be linked to Jesus of Nazareth and his family. He was a consultant for the film, The Lost Tomb of Jesus, produced by James Cameron and Simcha Jacobovici and shown in March 2007. In 2012, Tabor published, with co-author Simcha Jacobovici, The Jesus Discovery, the new archaeological find that reveals the birth of Christianity, which documents the recent exploration of a sealed tomb by remote robotic cameras, less than 200 feet from the first tomb. Books. Paul and Jesus, How the Apostle Transformed Christianity. Simon and Amp. Schuster, 2012. ISBN 978-1-4391-23317. The Jesus Discovery, the new archaeological find that reveals the birth of Christianity, with Simcha Jacobovici, Simon and Amp. Schuster, 2012. ISBN 978-1-4516-5040-2. The Jesus Dynasty, a new historical investigation of Jesus, his royal family, and the birth of Christianity. Simon and Amp. Schuster, 2006. ISBN 0-74328723-1 and AMP. ISBN 0-007220588. Invitation to the Old Testament, 2005. ISBN 0-687-49590-3. Why Waco? Cults and the Battle for Religious Freedom in America, 1995. ISBN 0-520-20899-4. A Noble Death, Suicide and Martyrdom Among Christians and Jews in Antiquity, 1992. ISBN 0-06-062095-1. Things Unutterable. Paul's Ascent to Paradise in its Greco-Roman, Judaic and Early Christian Contexts, 1986. ISBN 0-8191-5643-4 and AMP. ISBN 0-8191-5644-2.